This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to Isha Splunk for Performance Testers. So this is review. I'm having some 12 years of experience, out of which I worked in Splunk for 4 years and around like 1 year in Elk. This is about me. Yeah. So we'll understand the problem statement today. So you guys know, right? Every organization will be having thousands of servers. Yeah. Agree? Every organization will be having some thousands of servers. Like it can be a something like a IT firm, or it can be some account, or like it can be some other firm like Geo or Amazon or whatever, right? For in their backend they will be running multiple of applications, right? So they will have thousands of servers. As we are moving to cloud now, and where this infrastructure is also scattered now. Previously, right, all the, like if you have one application, if you have one box, right, you used to have application server as well as the DB server in the same infrastructure in monolithic. But now, due to this horizontal scaling and all those stuff, right, the size of the solution in terms of infrastructure is increasing, right? That is one problem. And as you know, right, each and every server generates some data. Okay, so it can be some application server, it can be some operating system, okay, or it can be some device or whatever, right? So each generates some data, and the pattern which generates the data is different. The Linux server will generate the data in different pattern, Windows server will generate the data in different pattern. And when it comes to application servers, we are having multiple application servers, like Apache, WebLogic, VAS, and all those. Here also the data will be generated in their own fashion and in their own standard. So the goal is to monitor this data. So if my organization is having some, we are a product based company and we are having some 50 servers, okay, which will take the load. Let us assume like I'm running a mail server, or I'm running one retail e-banking. This is how the log looks, right? It will be having some timestamp, it will be having one method, and whatever the action which you are performing, right, it will be having the data like add to data or item ID or product ID, and you will be having some session ID. And this is the, and this log will change from one application to application. So our goal is to monitor these thousands of servers, right? So what is Splunk? Basically the Splunk will collect, search, and analyze and visualize the machine generated data. Here, the machine generated data can be logs, or it can be CPU, it can be memory, or it can be some temperature of a device. Okay, from the machine data can be in any form. For IT firms, right, mostly we will be monitoring the websites, applications. Okay, for IT organizations we will be doing these two. But when you go to IoT and all those stuff, right, then they will, in networking, right, they will be monitoring the sensors. In industrial, right, they will be monitoring the sensors and the devices and routers and all those. Okay, so basically the goal is to collect this, whatever the data that is being generated by thousands of servers, store it, search, and analyze. So basically Splunk monitors everything. So it can get the data from servers, it can get the data from the Active Directory, it can get the data from the Windows, it can get the data from the radio frequency devices, sensors, virtual machines, or application servers. And there are like multiple types of virtual servers, right? When it talks to servers, there will be different operating systems, and Windows also there will be multiple flavors, and databases, security devices, networks. So basically Splunk will collect everything and it will store. Okay, So I will show one small demo. Okay, I will ping one site to you guys. I will take one second. Can you access this site? Basically, I told something here, no, right? It is a software used to collect, search, and analyze and visualize, no? So now we are accessing one application. Are you able to access that application? Can you confirm? Are you able to access the application? Can you confirm?
Yes, I can.
Can you click those links? So what I am doing right currently now, I am trying to access the application. Okay, just give random clicks such that it generates the data. This application is being linked to Splunk. So whenever you do this add to cart operation or something, I'm just doing some random clicks. So someone clicked, just now we clicked, right? Okay, I will put something like granularity. Just last 3 minutes data. Let it be. Yeah. Now you guys are trying to access the application, right? I am also trying to access the application. I'm doing some random clicks. So what will happen, right? Now some logs will be generated in the backend. If you go to, this is my application backend. Okay. So this is deployed in, this application is deployed in Google Cloud. Okay. Just a second. So here, no, whenever you do something, right, the log is being generated here. Okay. Whenever you are accessing the application, now log is being generated in the backend. So it is hard for a developer or a tester or an admin to log into this machine and check the data on the fly. Okay. So now if you, what I have done, right, I have forwarded these logs, whatever you are seeing here, right, to the Splunk. Okay. Now if you see here, no, even I'm just selecting last 10 minutes window. Okay, this is the machine generated data, whatever you are seeing, right? These are the logs. Yeah, so I got around like 382 events, means some 382 random clicks has been done, and I'm getting the logs. Now this is the machine generated data. Now I want to, as per my statement, no, I have collected the data. Now I have searched the data, right? I have done two operations. I have collected the data from my source machine. Okay, and I'm able to search the data, right? If you see here, I'm able to search the data from the whatever that is being generated. And now I want to analyze the data and I want to visualize the data. Now there are like multiple fields that are being displayed. The Splunk will automatically generate this some fields. Okay, so I will take something like randomly. I will select like client IP. So this is the These are the IPs from which you guys are logging in. Okay. So now if I want to know how many users are accessing the application, I can write some queries. You see, I am getting some 7. If I want to visualize, right, I can put something like, I can select some chart. So I can tell them, like, I can prepare a dashboard saying like some 7 users has been logged in. Okay. The number of active users, whatever are there, right? Those are 7 in this last 10 minutes. So like that, I can get some data. Okay. So using some SPL commands, right? We can, from the generated data, we can analyze and visually represent. Any doubts? Any doubts till now?
About these commands, like do we have some repository like where all types of commands are created for this one?
Yeah, we'll go through those comments during our classes. So basically, just I want to give you, right, what is Splunk and what actually it does. So I have told one definition, right? So it is a software used to collect, search, analyze, and visualize the data. Now I'm analyzing from how many IPs I'm getting the data, right? And I would represent in the visual representation so that with some dashboards, no, I can put my dashboards. Okay. So this one you understood, no? Basically, right, it will collect the data from any source. Means like it can be databases or it can be application servers or mainframe systems or like routers, networks. So radio frequency devices, from anywhere the data can be collected during the Splunk from the with the Splunk. Okay. So you guys already know, right? The logs will be very useful. Okay. Just a second. So you guys know, right? The logs will be very useful for troubleshooting purposes for the production servers, no? So and it will be used by developers, testers, and it is widely being used by security. Okay, so like if someone wants to take an opera like career path in security, right? Splunk is must. Like if you take like out of hundreds Fortune companies, right? 92 will be using Splunk, and there are like 50,000 to 60,000 or plus companies who will be monitoring this, sorry, who will be using the Splunk. It is more than some 70 or 80K. You can just to see like out of 100 Fortune 100 companies, 92 are using Splunk. Okay. And um, so mostly, right, it will be used for monitoring the production environment, right? The Splunk will be used for monitoring. This is mandatory in in your non-production environments also. In some companies may use Splunk, some may not. So like they will be using it for production. Okay, the security team, right, they will be using this, like an organization will be having, as I mentioned, no, like thousands of servers. Hacker will try to attack one system and take control of it, right? And through that system he will penetrate into your network. So the security team, right, they can't log in into these 1,000 machines. So like if I have some dashboard, something like that, right, whatever we created just now, if I have a dashboards like number of login failures or something, if I have a dashboard, normally the trend is like for 5 minutes we will be getting some 20 or 50 login failures. But if you see the trend going to some 100 within 5 minutes, no, then it is assumed like someone is trying to attack your system. So if I have a dashboard, something like it will show me like number of login failures in last 5 minutes or last 10 minutes. No, I can usually represent. And now I got, let us assume, like number of logins per second within 5 seconds or like 2 seconds or 9. Okay, what I can do, right, I can directly go and troubleshoot. So I can directly identify what is the system. Okay, what is the source system. Okay, just a second. This Splunk, this is slow, bit slow. Okay, it's still loading data. So I can directly identify the host name. Okay, now like I have given the host name. If I have mapped my host name as IP address, no, then I can directly identify from which IP I'm getting this traffic, and I can shut down the traffic. Okay, I can shut down that system. So this is one of the use case. Like that, they will be having like multiple use cases. Okay, and it will be used by the business team also, means business analyst and the customer. Like let us assume like Reliance is there. It is having some multiple business, no. Okay, if it is having some dashboard which provides the sales and the profits per every day. Okay, if Jio is having 10 business, sorry, this Reliance is having 10 business, so at the end of the day, right, every day some purchases or something will happen, transactions will happen, no. So they can prepare one chart to represent what is the turnover for last 1 day or last 2 days or last 1 month. They can prepare the dashboards. Okay, and let us assume like I'm a Amazon. Okay, I'm working, I'm a seller to Amazon. Okay, if Amazon uses this Splunk, no, so they will be having some sellers, no. Amazon itself will have some server like crowd retail or something, right? So they will be having 1 million some budget, like they will be having some uh, 1 crore. Okay, now this 1 crore they have to invest intelligently, okay, to get more revenue. Okay, whenever you purchase any item, it will be stored in the log. Okay, the Splunk developer, what he will do, right, he will write the query and try to access the information, what are the like top selling products which customer is interested in last 2 days or last 1 week or last 10 days, no. So it will give the trend. So like when some, let us assume some iPhone is getting released, so it will see the number of purchases that are happening last 1 week, so that the seller will try to invest amount in buying those mobile phones, such that they can be sold very fast, and he don't need to put it in his inventory, like that you will have. Okay, so and it supports like compliance also. Splunk supports compliance like PCI, SOX, and HIPAA. Okay, for log viewing and log retention requirements. And there are multiple Splunk competitors like log DNA, Elasticsearch, Sumo Logic, and SolarWinds Logly. Okay, so like these are also the competitors, but Splunk is more popular. Okay, so till now, do you have any doubts? I will answer this. You can unmute and ask questions.
Hello, sir. Good morning. So, when it comes to licensing part and all, how would Splunk go through with all the licensing things and all?
So licensing means like by default, right, you will be getting 60-day trial version license. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
you can ship around like 500 MB of data per day. That is the limit. Okay, when it comes to enterprise, right, there will be something like Splunk licensing. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
normally it will be like around like $2,000 per 1 GB or something. Okay, so your company has to talk with the Splunk sales team to procure the license for your lab purposes. Once you install, you can, I mean, like, you can use it for 60 days.
Okay.
After 60 days, just you destroy that server. Okay, you install
Mm-hmm.
it again, so using the same
Mm.
software.
Okay. So I had one more thing. Since Splunk and Elk are both simultaneously running in the market, what would be the major difference between Splunk and Elk apart from licensing part?
Yeah, okay, 1 second, I will show one PPT. Okay, Splunk, right, it is like matured, fully matured actually. Even though, like, I will show one, I have one PPT. So like Splunk and Elk, right, when it comes to maintenance, right, 1 second, yeah, Splunk is like setup and maintenance is easy. Okay, but Elk, in order to Elk, right, it is bit challenging. This is one of the difference. Okay, and it is matured enough, and it is having some extensive API capability, and it both has, I will come to this later. Okay, this plugin support. And if you see the licensing part, right, for Splunk, it is like $2,000 per GB, where it is like very $45 only. Okay, per month.
Mm.
uh this is one of the major feature. Okay, so let us assume like you are indexing. Okay, compression is something like Splunk is having a beautiful feature. Like if you are sending some 10 GB logs, 10 GB data to Splunk,
Huh.
it will compress it and store it into like some 3 GB.
Okay. This all happens during the time of data ingestion itself, sir.
Exactly. Whenever it
Okay.
collects the data, it what it will do, it will compress and store it. Now if I send some 10 GB data, okay, here,
Mm-hmm.
right, in Elk it will take 10 GB. Here it will take 3 or 4 GB. That depends upon the data. I can't give the exact number, but that depends upon the type of data which you are generating. Okay, it is like only 3 GB. So if I'm having some 50,000 servers, like 10,000 servers in my company, so each is generating 1 GB of data. That is the bare minimum. No, means the data accumulation will be like 50,000 GB per day. So in order to hold that infrastructure, like that, this content, right, this 50,000 GB, and you want to store it for around like 1 month or 15 days or like 6 months
Mm.
in a production server, if each day some 5 GB data is getting generated, or we'll make it as some 10 GB. Okay, this is more, but 10 GB is getting generated. Okay, now if I want to store the data for last 1 year, how much space you require? You have to buy additional storages and all those, right? And when as the storage increases, the rate of retrieval becomes slow. Agree?
Yes,
So
yes.
this
Again,
is the
this also depends on the retention period in the organization.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay, this is the major difference between Splunk and this one. So both will be having support. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
both will be having that features, but major thing is the compression and There is one thing called plugin support, and it is easy to maintain.
Okay.
I can here the cost is for ELK is too low.
Yeah, because it's an open source, no? Like here, right? They're the customer is not bothered about the cost. Okay, let us assume like you are going to some compliance related. Now you want to store the logs, okay, of your credit card information. Okay, what means like some Mastercard or something will be there, right? They will be generating some data at the back end. Okay, does Mastercard care about this? There is some 1 minute downtime or 5 minutes downtime. Okay, does Mastercard care about the money, or they will care about this the logs? They're most worried about the logs, right? They want all the data. They don't want any downtime, even though it is an open source. No, open source will have some limitations, and you can't claim also, right?
Okay.
If
And
some
one
data
more
is
thing.
lost, right, you can't claim to an open source like my data is lost. Whenever you buy a Splunk license, no, you will be getting the support also. You will be in this, right, you will be paying for the support also, Splunk support also. Splunk
Okay.
licensing consists of two things. One is the data plus support. Both will be included.
Okay. One more thing. Like, can we see how much data we are using? Like, if like you are charging $2,000 GB per year, but like how much data are we actually using? Can we see that like on the cloud version per day? How much data is being
Yeah,
sent?
yeah. There will be something like licensing. Sorry, sorry. Monitoring console. So it will show all the data, memory usage, and all processors. It will show.
For cloud version, this is on-prem.
Huh?
For cloud
I
version,
didn't hit you.
for cloud,
Your voice is not clear. Can you type that?
for,
Cloud watch. I didn't get.
if I'm using Splunk on cloud like SaaS version, so for that, how we can see what is the data?
SaaS version. There also it will be same only, but the UI is same, no? Everywhere. It will be, now I don't have the cloud instance, but whenever you go to the cloud instance, right, what will happen, right? The data will be stored in the servers of Splunk. So most of the companies, right, they will be using this one only. They will be having their on-premises setup only. So they don't want, if it is like a financial, okay, if for telecom, they may ship, okay, because the customer data will be there, right? If it is a financial and all those, so they will be doing it in house. Only rarely they will go for Splunk SaaS application solution. I don't have currently the SaaS application, but there also will be having same monitoring console from where you can see.
Sir, adding on to this only, so a few times I might feel difficult or I might have no knowledge on navigating between the screens. During that time, using the SPL only, is there a way where I can search for the license that has been used?
License, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
there should be a way. Okay, there should be a way. Okay, there will be some internal indexes from where you can search the queries. Okay, so there will be something like internal indexes through which you so there will be internal indexes. Even from here, right, there will be something like audit, internal, and all those, right? You have to write the SPL, and you have to get the exact keyword. You have to or like do some R&D and search in these indexes from where you can get that information. Okay.
Last thing, like for the logs, will it consider the actual log size or compressed log size? If you are saying that okay,
Actual,
one
actual, actual, actual. It is a compression, right? Splunk will be charging for the actual. Okay. So I was telling about one more thing, no? Like so this is the Splunk base. Okay. In Splunk base, right, you will be having like lot of apps. So like they have splitted the categorized in terms of like DevOps, IT operations, security and utilities and IoT and business analytics, right? So like if you see most of the apps, right, they are into the security, and for security and IT operations, right, the number of apps are same. Okay, now the DevOps, okay, and other stuff like business analyst and utilities, okay, like these are also being developed. So this can, like, there will be in apps, right, you will be having, say, if you want to monitor Linux, no, you will be having some add-ons or apps for monitoring the Splunk. Okay, so you have to install these apps into the Splunk, and you have to monitor the like infrastructure. Okay, if you want to, there are multiple apps like if you see, okay, in Splunk base there will be something like Splunk add-on for New Relic. Okay, Dynatrace, Jenkins, ServiceNow. So like if you take ServiceNow, whenever a user raises tickets, no, the same will be reflected in the Splunk. So like that, the integrations will be there. So actually this is like when it comes to admin, no, it will be like very exhaustive. That's why this you can monitor any type of data. That's what I was telling. So with the router switches, okay, you can monitor uh, the data. Okay. So if you go to DevOps, right, you are having multiple applications like Jenkins, Zira integration. Okay. So the team has to like do some R&D, and they have to integrate these apps with the Splunk. That's why the Splunk is more famous. So ready-made integration is there, and you have some Docker integration, Redis.
so we will be seeing this integration, right? Because
And I
we
will
will
be
not
telling,
be.
because there are some thousands and 2-3K applications, no. So I will be taking one sample application, one or two I can take in class. I can't take everything, no. I will take one or
Right.
two.
So
And
the major thing is the querying language, right? So irrespective of whatever the component that we are monitoring with the apps that you shown, the majorly it's like we need to know how do we pull the data.
yeah,
Basically, that's the major.
yeah, like as part of this course, right, it's split into two things. One is like Splunk admin developer. Okay, so the thing is, like, in this course, right, we'll be setting the infrastructure itself. So you will be knowing like how to install. There will be like multiple components. If you go to this diagram, right, Splunk is not simple. Okay, so you'll be having some. There will be multiple components like universal forwarder, heavy forwarder, indexer, cluster master, search head, deployment server, and license manager. So these are the components of Splunk. It is not a standalone server. Basically, you will be having some like indexer is the one which stores the data. Basically, okay. The indexer is one component which stores the data. Okay, and sorry, I kept here. Okay, Indexer is something like whenever the data gets sent from your, basically the data will come either from first it will come from universal forwarder and it will go to indexer. Okay, now there is a chance like I indexer is some physical machine, on top of it you'll be installing the Splunk, no? One instance won't be supporting, no? Yes or no? So you should have some cluster like 5, 10 based on the data you send. Agree? So you, one second. So you will have some infrastructure like this. At the end state would be something like this. Okay. You will be having something like this. So you will be having multiple indexers. You will be having multiple indexers and multiple search heads. Okay, we'll see like what is search head and all those now future classes, but you will be having some cluster where the data is stored, and there will be like multiple search heads. Okay, so like whatever I'm seeing now from UI, the UI component is the search head, it is not the indexer. So whenever I write a Splunk query, then from the user will hit the load balancer and the load balancer will send the search to the search head. Search head will collect the data from the indexer and it will show to you. Okay, so you will be having like multiple machines. Got it? So you will be having some in real time, you will be having some like 10 to 20 or 30 or even more indexers. Okay, so if you want for a normal setup, right, which is I have set up in, I have put one setup in VMware. Okay, it is having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 VMs we need, 9 instances we need to get one Splunk setup for admin. So the admin's job is something like this. I will show. Yeah. So the admin's job is something like to install, configure, okay, and data integration part he will be doing, and app management he will be doing, and cluster management he will be doing. So basically whatever the machines I shown, no, for lab purposes, for our lab purposes only, I'm having about 9 machines. When you go to enterprise and in real time you will be having much more. Okay, so those infrastructure he will be maintaining, and there will be one role called as Splunk developer. Okay, so their job is only to write the Splunk queries. Okay, in some companies, right, which are like some companies, no, small scale companies. Okay, they will be having only one resource who will be doing both admin work and the development work. Okay, so basically like Splunk will be used by everyone, no, like BA, system admin, developer, tester, and security analyst. Okay, these are the career paths for Splunk. Mm. So as part of the course, we'll be dealing with both. We'll be setting up the environment, Splunk environment. Okay, and we'll be like configuring the indexers, search heads. Okay, we'll be like in real time how you will have, right, the same way you will be having one. We'll be setting up one cluster, Splunk cluster with all the components. Okay, and you will be having one more thing called like Splunk development. Both will be covered. Okay, there will be seeing the alerts and reports. So Splunk is having the alerts feature also. One second, I will show one sample report.
Okay, so we will be learning like how to like deploy the environment, Splunk deploy environment, then adding the a different application, and then managing and developing the queries. Everything is included, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a sample report. So normally, right, at the end of the day, if you create one report, right, it will be something like this. Here, right, have configured one report to send only the errors. Okay, so these are the error reports, and this is the trend. This is the trend. Like these are different features or functionality, whatever we are having now. These are the different functionalities, and it is giving me a report on daily basis based on my need. Okay, and you will be having something like dashboards here. Okay, Splunk dashboard. So we'll be covering this one as well. So like feature wise, what are the past transactions? Okay, and you can get like what is the functionality and number of hits or number of transactions that has been processed, and like if you want to display like what are the successful transactions, failure due to request from client. So interpretation would be something like this. So this is the HTTP status code. Based on that, we have put it in a meaningful format. So business can't analyze, no one can remember the status codes, right? So we can create some data, something like this in our own format. Okay, and we'll be adding like if it's a currency or something, right? You can add some dollars or something, and we can add some trend line, spark line, we'll call it as in Splunk. So here, right, I have ran some test. Okay, now I want to split the HTTP error codes in feature wise. So each and every functionality like add to cart is there, like change quality, purchase, and remove. These are like multiple features or functionality which we have. Okay, and what are the error codes and what is the count? You got it. Like here, no, these are only displaying only the error count. So in this add to feature 21 or 404 and 404 like 10, something like that, only errors. I want to map it in the feature wise, what is the feature and how is the breakage, whether it is uniform or whether I'm seeing the trend only for here. If you see, right, I'm having more failures for purchase for 503, right, service unavailable for this feature, only it is breaking. So I can work, I can assign the developer, or I can analyze only on this feature, no. So this one, it will give an insight. So based on the SPL, whatever you write. So can you write some like, is it possible to retrieve the data like this using scripting or something within minutes? It is very hard, no, if you want to segregate the errors based on the functionality, and right. So that's why the Splunk will come into picture. So I can put like what are the top 3 errors. Okay, what is the percentage out of 100 percentage, how much it is contributing. Okay, I can write something like what is the response times greater than some X value, how many requests are having response time greater than some 3500 milliseconds and greater than 1 second. Okay, so like that we'll go through these dashboards also.
Yeah, I have one question. This demo reports that you are showing, is it based on a test that is performed by you using any like a load test or any tool, or is it a report from the production kind of? Like
So
any test? For
yeah, please.
yeah.
So your question is like whether this is being generated by I means like the actually Splunk will be providing some logs. Okay, they will be providing some tutorial data. Okay, so from this we have extracted this one. The logs will vary from one application to another application, no. If you take in production also, no two servers will have same data, right? The chart will vary.
Yeah.
The logic is the same.
Actually, my question is like if I'm performing a testing, I'm having Splunk and I'm getting lot of logs. So can I prepare a dashboard like this using when I'm doing any testing, like a stress testing I'm doing, and if I want to see like this?
Yes, this is completely based on that only.
Will this cover like how we can analyze those logs, like not like more data or more stats? How could I get if I'm when I'm performing any testing?
Yes. So that's what. So these are the demo reports of one particular class which is ongoing. Okay. So during that time, right, we have gone through this one. So the same thing I am presenting over in the demo.
So also, I think to adding to her question, right? So I mean, like you will be explaining us a multiple ways of dashboards, not just one particular way, and also it's purely depend upon the background of the dashboard is a query and few other things, right? If I'm not wrong, so I'm not really very good about it, but it is
So
something like we need to visualize what we really want to.
yes. First you have to know the basic, like what is your requirement, what you want. Okay. So I will be giving some use cases. So here, right, my requirement is to count the events for this feature. Okay, there is multiple features here. So one of the feature is something like add to cart. Okay, here, right, I'm able to search. If you see here, no, it will translate the query. So this is the query which I used. So this is the feature out of which I'm just getting the count of only passed transactions. So this thing I'm converting into a dashboard. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever the Splunk query we are writing, right, the same thing will be visualized. Using that, the same thing will be put on here. Okay, post the query is completed and what you want is extracted, then we'll add it to the dashboard.
I have another question. When I get like a timing that is running the JavaScripts or anything running on the UI, can I get timing for those resources as well? Like
UAE.
yeah, if for example, if I'm doing if I'm taking some web pages and there are a lot of JavaScripts is running there and the page is slow because of that. So if my Splunk will able to capture those resource details as well, know the JavaScripts, and if I search it.
So for that purposes of page rendering and all those stuff, right, you have to go with AppDynamics or something. Okay, so it is not a APM. So if you want, there is one more use case. Like if you want to measure the like from your LoadRunner, from your test machine, you are running some stuff. Okay, you are running some scripts. Okay, now the overall response time is like 5 seconds. Let us assume. Okay, but there will be some lot of latency involved. So you don't know exactly what is the latency. So if there is a way, like you can add some what to say tracing IDs or something in your load runner in some header, so you will be getting the information of when the request got triggered in the Jmeter, that you will get. Okay, that can be done.
Okay. Thank
No,
you.
no,
Basically, like
I,
if you give some transaction ID, right, all the details will be displayed. Okay, but
no,
it can't be integrated with a tool or something. Okay, if you capture that in the log, right, the same thing can be sent to Splunk. Okay, it is whatever the data that gets extracted, right, that data will be sent. So Splunk won't manipulate the data like AppDynamics does. No, AppDynamics, what it will do, it will do some like manipulation of the data and it will be splitting. No, so whatever the data that is getting generated in your client or in your server, right, it will just collect the data and use it.
but as you said, if you modify somewhere in the headers or the scripting,
You will
that
get
log
end to
is
end. Like no, my view is something like there is some call. Okay, there is something like from LoadRunner you are hitting one transaction. Okay, and you will be whenever you will be using you will be loading some hundreds of thousands of transactions, and this from LoadRunner it will go to application A, and that application will route the to application B, application C, something like that. There is a chain. There are like n number of downstream systems. Then you want to verify the log. That is also one challenge, you know.
yeah, agreed. But only point is, as long as the application sending the logs to the application, like Splunk forwarder or this the systrain port, there could be something like, the Splunk has to bind it to the application, right? So even if you modify the logs at a tool level, may not be extracted
It
in the
won't
Splunk.
manipulate. It won't manipulate. Splunk won't manipulate. Whatever the data it collects, it will just collect. Okay, it will receive. That's it. It won't manipulate. The software,
If it,
whatever you are using on the client, right? It will just to send the data.
okay, if at all the user has the logging structure for the JS loading in the
That's
application,
not enough.
MNSA developer has, that can be loaded, and from there we
No, no,
can have that.
no, no. There you have to
Okay.
go with APM. That's why in production you will be having APMs plus this one, no? Splunk.
You're right.
Both are independent. Using APM you can't get this information, no? You understood the line, thin line between them, no? APM will monitor the CPU memory and all those stuff, okay? And it will give you some stuff, okay? But from this, right, Splunk as such is not giving any data. We are just manipulating by querying, no? In APM you will be getting the data automatically. Whenever you do a click, no? You will be in AppDynamics. If you if you click, right, then it will give you a split. But here it is not the case. I am not getting anything ready-made here. I am writing query to get the data. What I am actually getting is only the raw data, right? Agree? Splunk ready-made will provide only the raw data. If I give something like this, so Splunk will be provided with this. Okay, one second, I will search for all the time. Splunk will be giving this data to me, okay? From the source machine, this data got generated, and it is the job of the developer to extract the information from it.
Okay, got it. So, how much will be the course duration?
20 to 25 days to 30.
Okay, also excluding Sundays, right?
Excluding? Yeah, excluding Sundays. Saturday, Sunday, there won't be class.
So we would be able
So,
to please go ahead.
so that means like 25 hours of lectures you are saying, or 25 days? Like,
25 hours.
okay, thanks. And will it be covering the certification? Like after finishing this course, we can directly opt for the any certification, Splunk certification, I'm saying. And
Yeah, you can
user
opt. So if you go through this course, right, there will be like multiple certifications like power user and developer and all those. You'll be getting more info, like whatever through this course, right, you will know admin also, right? So power user is only just for uh, using the data, in the installation part also.
Okay, thanks.
I had a question here. Some time thing here in the time tab, we are seeing 11:50 p.m. Whereas in the event, the time that is showing up is 12:18 or something. No, in case if we have to match the time frame, what do we do?
The thing is like simple. Okay, Splunk doesn't bother about the income. There are two timestamps here. Okay, this is the Splunk indexed time. This is the event time. Okay, so
Yeah.
whenever you extract the information, right, it will be this.
Okay, what
So
in case
Splunk
in
will act.
future we
Splunk
get
So there will be something like Splunk. The time conversion will be there. Okay, we have to analyze whether why this time difference is there. Whether is it to the time zone, or we using the Splunk in different time zone. Okay, Normally, all the systems will have same time, right? Agree?
Yeah.
If you are using the different time zone only, we will get this difference. Agree?
Correct.
So,
So now let's consider a scenario where the data is coming from a EST time zone server,
okay,
and the Splunk is hosted, the search head web console is hosted on CST time zone console. I mean,
okay.
CST time zone. How do
So,
we match the data that is getting indexed into Splunk and the Splunk internal time?
so the thing is like while indexing itself, the admin has to send the data, okay, by manipulating the providing these events, right? At the end of the day, right? Tell me one thing, okay? Now my data is present, okay? I'm having two applications, okay? One is providing the correct and one is providing in a different time zone. So now I want to fetch the errors, okay, in two different times, two different applications. So do I need to filter using single do I need to use single filter or double filter in the time? I will be having only one filter. So while indexing itself, the Splunk admin has to convert that into the corresponding time which where the Splunk is indexed, and he has to send. Okay, at the end of the day, right, you no need to bother about this one. Okay,
Okay.
you
What
are more
action can
interested
be
in the,
taken?
just let me complete, at the end of the day, right, you are more interested in these items, these fields.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So if automatically if your admin or your Splunk team does the conversion and map the corresponding what is a corresponding event time, okay, then using one single filter I can get the data from two sources, right? If I have both
Yeah.
independent, it
Oh,
can't be done. So that's why you will what Splunk will do, right? Irrespective of where the data is being, how the data or at what timestamp it is being collected, Splunk will add its own timestamp so that it can facilitate the filter operation. Okay, it whenever you select both, right? Whenever you does here,
yeah.
now it doesn't mean like you are getting the data from here. Okay, the Splunk event is
Mm,
applied here. It will use this
yeah.
time, not this time. It will automatically convert. Then they have to convert
Okay.
while sending.
Okay. So this conversions and all can be done on console, or will it again be something like
Configuration.
editing in configuration files?
That will be done in the configuration.
Okay.
Good morning. May I ask you a question, sir?
Yeah, please.
Hey, I hear you say it's going to be every day. Do you know
Monday
what
to Friday.
EST? Yes.
Uh,
Do you know what EST time it's going to be?
yeah, it would be the same time, whatever we are logging in, right? The same time every day.
Oh, so okay, same time every day, 9 o'clock, and it's going to be for an hour or more than an
It will
hour
be for
every day.
it will be 1 hour, exactly 1 hour.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
So mostly it will be like there won't be any theory. Everything will be like practical only, like setting up and all this. I won't eat time in theory. Any other questions?
So finally, we are going to the objective of the training is we are going to have a better knowledge on the admin as well
Yes.
as a developer. We should be able to in a stage where start installing or identifying the better architecture for Splunk and make
Yes.
sure that is properly connected, and then a developer where he can able to do creation of the dashboards or queries and whatnot. But alerts will not be part of this session. Is
No.
correct?
Alerts will be part. Alerts will be part. Okay. Reports and alerts also will be part of this session. But the thing is, like I can take 1 or 2 examples. Okay. I can't take alerts means I can show 1 demo or 2 demos because I have to
I
cover everything.
understand.
So
I
actually
understand.
Splunk is very vast. If you see the certification itself, if you see the certifications itself, right? You are having like core user, power user, advanced user, certified admin, certified enterprise admin, okay, enterprise architect, certified developer, okay, enterprise security admin, ITI, SI, this is IT service and intelligence, core certified consultants, and phantom certified admin. So Splunk will be having, actually Splunk is very vast, so like you will be able to complete this certification, okay. This will be like, you will get to know easily, okay. So the Splunk is vast. If you if you go deeper, right, it will be very vast. That's why you are having like these many certifications for Splunk, no? You can easily clear this one and this one, okay. And you will have knowledge on this one, developer and admin also. So if you want to go to this admin, right, first you should clear these two. Means it's not mandated, but you should have SP1, SP2. You will be having these two. This will be covered.
Got it. Thank you.
One thing, right, there will be like a number of use cases, because the raw data, one thing what I want to say, right, the raw data will be there, right? The raw data will be like independent of the system. Agree? So each one's requirement will vary based on their need. It won't be generic. Okay. Yeah. If you don't have any questions, I can close.
Do you know after this if you're going to teach this class again?
This will be the demo, and from tomorrow, right, we'll be having the
You're gonna have
like
it.
tomorrow we'll inform you in the group.
Okay, so are you, no, my question is, are you planning to have another one after this?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, because I'm having a conflict right now, so I cannot do it this time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you.